What industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
I'm in the lumber industry.
We own one of the largest coaching companies in the world, but sales is what got me where I'm at.
What has been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
$1.4 million.
Tens of millions of dollars in revenue.
What's the best advice that you would give to your younger self?
So I'll tell you this, Stephen Jobs said it beautifully. You could have a Timex watch, you could have a Rolex watch. They will both tell you the right time.
Really be willing to make sacrifices, work hard, don't show off, be honest. I think honesty is the biggest thing.
Number 1.
What industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
I'm in the lumber industry.
The lumber industry. Now you're a business owner?
Yes.
What has been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
In 2022, my company did $194 million.
$194 million. A lot of entrepreneurs, they'll have a great idea, they'll start the business, they don't know how to scale. What's the number one thing that took you from 8 to 9 figures?
Identifying people
Right.
is probably more. I'm not in the lumber business, I'm in the people business.
I love that.
So I'm hiring people. I don't believe in hiring somebody to do my job, and I view my job as running the company. But when you start getting at a certain level, you do have to start considering letting go of certain things. You know, the business owner can't be worried about the price of the toilet paper.
How old are you now?
54,
And how old were you when you became a millionaire?
35.
For a young 20-year-old kid watching this right now, aspiring to become successful like yourself, give them the blueprint to becoming a 9-figure entrepreneur.
Ideas are cheap, execution is everything.
Break that down. What's the importance of taking action?
It's not just taking the action, it's how you execute. It's the follow through, it's the precision, it's the focus. Everybody has great ideas. There's not a lot of original thought, but there's people that execute things well. So I would say that's, in a business perspective, that's good advice.
Amazing advice, sir. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
your
man.
time. I appreciate you,
All
man.
right.
Number 2.
We're about to go interview a real legend out here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Let's go see what he has to say. Good, man. How about you?
Follow me on Instagram, bro.
Yeah. What's your name?
Miles.
Miles? James,
sir.
great to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, bro.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
For those that don't know, what industry did you decide to pursue a career in? What do you do for a living out here in Scottsdale, Arizona?
Well, we own one of the largest coaching companies in the world, but sales is what got me where I'm at. Sales and leadership will get you rich. If you want to get rich, you get great at sales, you become a great leader, you'll dominate everybody.
How much money are you going to make this year? What's the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
Well, we made $160 million last year. Our goal is to make $250 this year, and our goal is to be at $1 billion in 4 years. And you say, well, how can that happen? It's simple. It's a penny a day, doubled every day for 30 days, okay? It doesn't always look that way in the beginning, but it's going in that direction. It's just like your social media channel. We just showed each other, right? You know, it took me a year to get to 1 million followers. It took me 90 days to get to my next million. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a compound effect, baby.
Why was sales your vehicle? Out of all the industries out there, all the skills to learn, why did you master sales above everything else?
Lowest barrier of entry. By the way, I got lucky. I got lucky with sales. But anybody right now, people go to become a doctor, they spend 7 years, right, in school, pay back 250 grand in student loan debt, then spend 3 more years in residency, making 60,000 a year after 10 years to hopefully self-incorporate, open a practice, make 500 grand a year. Literally, you can get in sales and you can make 500 grand in year one. By the way, what does it cost to get in sales? 0. So a guy like me at 18 years old, made bad grades, straight D's in school. Dad told me get a job, stay out of jail. The barrier of entry to sell was 0. Made 125 grand my first year, 225 my second year, third year I was 20 years old, made 500 grand. Anyone, and I mean anyone, 95% of the population's lost. They can get in sales and they can become a multi-millionaire in the next 5 years.
A lot of people, they see this, they see the multi-million-dollar house, they see the empire that you built, but they don't realize, like, do you come from money?
Absolutely not. By the way, anybody watching this right now, broken people are the most dangerous. If you're broke, it means this. It's called bounceology. I take a tennis ball, right? And I freaking slam it on the ground. From here to the ground is only this distance. But so once it hits the ground, it just fires back up super high. So if you're broke and you're lost, it's like rock bottom. I was rock bottom for 18 years. And at 19, when I found sales, they say when the pain overrides the fear of change, people change. People that are comfortable don't have a high level of pain, so their change is never really big. Broke people, a lot of them, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you're like, dude, I ain't gonna be broke no more. I'm not gonna be a loser no more. This isn't gonna be my bloodline anymore. Those people that are watching this, which are really the masses, the people that you reach, those people are dangerous. And by the way, without a test, there's no testimony. Do you wanna see some guy and go follow him who came up this much, or do you wanna find a guy that came up this much? That's my dude.
What is your secret to sales? You've closed massive multi-million-dollar deals consistently throughout your entire life. What is Andy Elliott's secret to sales?
I care more about my clients than they care about themselves. That's it. Whoever cares the most about the client wins, whether the client cares about themselves more than you care about them, or whether I care about you more than you care about yourself. There's this thing called eyes. Eyes are the window to the soul. When I'm talking to you, you can tell if you're the most important thing to me or not. And honestly, a lot of people, they're not really where they're at. So we're here together right now. I've got a million other things going on in my life. I'm not thinking about one of them. I'm thinking about you. People don't do that anymore. They're not really really where they are. So you got to be where your feet are, and then also you got to understand this, okay? The secret in sales is that when I learned that sales was my way out and it was going to make me rich if I was great at it, they say if you treat something like it's the beginning, there'll never be an end. Dude, every time I sell, I'm so freaking jacked up. It's like I just chew Viagra for sales. Seriously, I'm excited. I love it. I never get exhausted. It never gets burned out. It never gets old to me. I don't care how much money I make. I don't care how big the deal is. The next deal, I'm hungrier than that deal. Whoever's the hungriest wins. That's the game. So the reason why I've never burned out is because I am where my feet are. I love my clients. And by the way, what's a good rule of the business if you want to dominate everybody? Take care of your clients better than they've ever been taken care of. Dude, when I'm with people, I make them feel better than anybody's ever made them feel. Remember, people won't always remember what you said, but they'll always remember the way you made them feel.
Was all this worth it?
Hell yes. And I'm going to tell you a lie. I hear all these big influencers and entrepreneurs, they say that not everybody's built for this shit. Bullshit. Everybody's built for it. If you can just believe in you and no one else believes in you, that's enough. Of course it's worth it. Dude, listen, you're going to die. You're going to die one day. Do you want to be remembered? Do you want to change anyone's life along the way? Do you want to do anything that makes you feel good in your heart? You want to have the art of achievement and the art of fulfillment? Go psycho. There's something that I say that scares the shit out of people. And I say, hey, James, have you ever thought about the unlived life? This is the one that you were supposed to live. This is the one when God made you, he wanted you to live this life, but you never had the courage to do it. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to get to the unlived life? Yeah. Bet your ass it is. Yeah. Either get there or die trying, but damn sure don't be average. Never conform, never become civilized, ever.
I love it. That was phenomenal, man. Thank you so much, man, for letting us come out here.
You bet, bro.
That was amazing.
Number 3.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
Question for you, man. Is this your G-Wagon?
I hope so.
Yeah?
Yes, sir. What's going on? I'm picking somebody else.
What do you do for a living out in Tampa to be able to afford a G-Wagon?
I'm a lobbyist and a publicist. I have a consulting practice.
How long, I guess, have you been in the business for?
Man, I've been doing this almost 15 years, but before I made any real money, I was making the copies and making the coffee for people, and I just ended up being a really good copy maker and coffee maker.
I go all over the country just asking people a few questions on their best advice to the younger generation. Could we ask you a few questions for the channel?
Yeah, it's all good.
Over those 15 years, what has been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
$1.4 million, but I'll say that with a caveat, because the following year, I almost lost it all completely trying to build and scale an agency.
If you went broke tomorrow, could you make it all back?
Absolutely. I will know exactly what to do because I'm hungry. And that's where I come from. So what? You're just going to give me something I'm already comfortable in? Let's do it. You know, I've been there, done that. I could live on the street. I could live on a train station. I could make a decision between should I get a Metro card or should I buy food? I could go not eating for a couple of days. I could do the work. Before I launched my company, you know what I did? I pulled up to a labor ready at 3:30 a.m. and worked on the docks to fill up oil barrels for Amalie Arena with a college degree. I'm not afraid to work. I do what's necessary. I can live a Spartan life and I'll get back there.
How old are you now?
I'm 38 years old.
And how old were you when you became a millionaire?
I made my first million at the age of 35.
What is the best advice that you ever got from a mentor?
I would say it's two things, right? One is never let them see you sweat. Remain calm. Remain in control. When I was trying to get out of Brooklyn, the way that I was able to get money to leave the city was I used to sell bootleg Air Force Ones and jerseys. But I was selling them to drug dealers because they're the ones that have the money. So I would sell fake Mitchell and Ness. And so that line when Tupac said, I made a G today, but I made it in a sleazy way, that was me. But I had a vision. But when I was making money, I was wearing the same white tee, the same Uptowns. I was looking dirty. So when my hood was looking at me like, wow, Caesar's going through it, man, I feel bad for him. If I would have told them, oh, I'm gonna go to Florida, I'm gonna go change my life, they would have started, hey, I don't need that energy. So what I did was I moved in silence and I didn't let them see me sweat. And number two, don't believe your own propaganda. If you start to believe your own hype that you're manufacturing, you're going to start making careless decisions and you'll become a tyrant.
What's been your secret to sales throughout your career? Selling in a competitive industry, how have you been able to consistently land massive deals in politics over these last 15 years?
Be able to walk away. Everybody's looking for a deal, not me. You get what you pay for. So the first person to speak loses. I present my value. Here's my consistency. Here is my case studies. Here's my cadence. You want to work with me? Then you'll win. If you're looking for something on the cheap, go to somebody else. Be willing to walk away.
Would you say that most politicians are corrupt?
I wouldn't say that politicians are corrupt, but I would say that power corrupts absolutely. You don't know somebody until you either run them for office, give them power, or marry them.
What's the biggest lie that we're told from our government?
The biggest lie, and watch out for this. This is gonna be key right now. Whenever you hear a politician say the deep state, or I'm gonna clean it up, or they're gonna bring a broom, they lying. It's complete lies. The bureaucrats are who run America. The deputy secretaries, the administrators, they're there for decades. And when you're a public official, you don't come in the game knowing exactly what to do. You gotta learn. And who do you speak to? Lobbyists. Lobbyists don't have term limits. We're experts in the arenas and the fields that we're in. We're drafting legislation. We're guiding legislation, right? So bureaucrats are not bad people. They're legitimately the deep state, and lobbyists are experts in their arenas. Now, what they choose to use their skills for, it's up to them. But that's the biggest lie that's being thrown out is I'm gonna drain the swamp. I'm like, bro, you are the swamp.
Do you believe in God?
Absolutely, I believe in God. But I'm gonna go further because everybody says God, God, God. I don't know who your God is. People say I thank God, but they could be thanking God and it's some demon. I believe in God, but specifically, I believe in Jesus Christ the Messiah, absolutely.
I love that. And how important has faith been to the success of your career?
Faith is super important, right? In the Old Testament, you see the persona of God, and God is not just merciful, but he's ruthless. He says, in order to follow me, you have to have a fear of me. You have to have the fear of God. In order to have the fear of God, you have to acknowledge the wisdom of God. In order to acknowledge the wisdom of God, you have to acknowledge Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ is the word that became flesh and is literally the reincarnation of the word of God on earth. And we as men should model ourselves after Jesus Christ and what he did. He is the ultimate Adam.
Number 4.
Excuse me, sir. Quick question for you, man. Is this your Lamborghini?
Why do you ask?
I go all over the country just asking people some questions on advice to the younger generation of kids coming out of school. Thought you had a beautiful car. Wanted to know if we could ask you a few questions for the channel.
Hit me, what do you got?
What do you do for a living to be able to put a Lamborghini out here in Las Vegas?
I do real estate out here in Las Vegas.
How long have you been in real estate for?
I've been in real estate for almost 20 years now.
What's been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
Tens of millions of dollars in revenue, and net profit, I'll keep that to myself.
Do you come from money?
No. My dad left my sister and I with my mom when I was 1 and she was 3 years old. I'm a high school dropout and I didn't go to college. But what I always say, and I think it's important to say this because I think it's important for people to recognize it when it's within their reach. I didn't come from money, but I came from resources. But we all come from resources. It's just, are we conscious of them? So did I have somebody that I could go, hey, can you help me get better? And that person would respond and say yes. But it starts with the balls and the humility to look at that person and say, will you help me? That's what it starts with. So did I have a lack of resources where people were willing to help me? No. But do I give them all the credit? Fuck no. I get the credit because I had the balls to ask them.
We don't lack resources, we just lack resourcefulness.
Yes, there you go. That's a beautiful saying.
Let me ask you this,
Yeah, and I don't even know if coming from money is of benefit. Those poor guys get stripped of the beautiful experience of generating money. Think how sad that is. Think if you woke up, Andrew Tate said this one time, he really articulated it right. I understood the mindset, but he articulated it correctly. Could you imagine being a sheik where money is irrelevant? You could have anything on the planet. You could buy any of these hotels. Like, what a horrible feeling that you don't get that amazing dopamine rush of working hard for something, seeing the results, and then being able to go out and spoil yourself. Those guys got stripped of that on the day they were born. There's value in not coming from money.
As a multiple 8-figure entrepreneur, what's been the best financial advice that you've received throughout your career?
You can't save your way to being rich. You can't save your way to being rich. A lot of people will say to themselves, how can I afford that thing? And they bust out all their bills and they go, mortgage, car payment, cell phone bill, entertainment for food, gas, bullshit, 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 and then they see if they can afford it. That's not your problem. You need to make more money.
I love that. And how can someone make their money work for them in today's world?
I'm a big believer in buying cash flowing assets. I have been able to live a really abundant life with dumb shit and toys like this by buying assets that produce cash flow. And the asset that I like to buy is rental properties.
Right. Majority of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. What keeps people broke in today's world?
Politics keeps people broke. Football keeps people broke. All the distraction keeps people broke. Alcohol keeps people broke. Think about that. Every Sunday there's 75,000 fans times however many football games going on at a time. They love it. On Monday they wake up, they could barely make it to work. Those people, all that ambition has been washed away because they've all boozed the day before. Why do you think football's on a Sunday? If they wanted America to go back to work with life and ambition and drive, they'd put football on Saturday, because then they'd have Sunday to recover so they could go to work feeling great. So all that distraction, in my opinion, it's all designed to numb out society, numb out ambition, and just keep people being content waking up and going to work from 9 to 5, from 9 to 5. Think about this, when you put some guy in the wilderness with no distractions and no alcohol, no nonsense, and no resources, you come back 6 months later, the fucking guy's built a fort, he's got fucking games, he's got a way to fish, he's got a way to get clean water. That's the true, authentic being of a human. We are creators by default, but with no distraction.
What did you have to sacrifice to be able to build all this, man?
I sacrificed my health, I sacrificed my friend groups, I sacrificed my family, I sacrificed my sanity, I sacrificed every single part of my life. I sacrificed. But I look back now and I'm grateful that I did, and I wouldn't change anything about it.
You got amazing advice. Thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate
that
you,
was
sir.
a long-winded interview.
Number 5.
Yes, sir. I got a question for you.
What's that?
So I started a channel at the University of Texas at Austin. I grew it to over 3 million followers, and I go all over the country. I'm based in Austin.
Just you want to interview?
Just a few questions. Is that cool?
So you don't even know who I am yet, do you?
Not yet, sir. I'd love to find out there. I'm going to find out
be the
there.
most famous guy you'll ever meet here.
I believe it. Is that
I
cool?
know it's true.
Could we do it over here? Is that cool? Over by the boat?
Yeah, come on.
Let's go. Awesome, man. I appreciate that. What industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
I've been in every industry and I've done everything. I ended up owning a large strip club, the largest strip club in Connecticut. I'm also a certified gemologist, precious gems. I had high-end jewelry stores. I also had a gambling ship on the west coast of Florida. I owned a major motion picture movie studio, the biggest east of the Mississippi River.
How can somebody get a yacht in today's world?
Buy one.
How old are you now?
Oh, let me see. How old am I now? The sun is going around the earth 72 times, I guess? Yeah. Everybody calls me up and says, Rick, how the fuck are you still alive? And my answer is, I don't have a fucking clue.
Right. Yeah. If you were to go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what's the best advice that you would give to your younger self?
So I'll tell you this. Stephen Jobs said it beautifully, and I love what he said. And what he said was this: you could have a Timex watch, you could have a Rolex watch. They will both tell you the right time. And then he also said you can get somewhere in your Rolls Royce, or you can get somewhere in your little Volkswagen, which maybe costs $1,000, but they will both still get you there. And that to me is the smartest thing anybody could ever say. So it's not a question of money, it's a question of the way you are, the way you treat life, the way you treat yourself, the way you treat others. And me personally, I love everybody, and everybody knows that.
What's your best self-improvement advice to somebody out there?
The best thing I could tell anybody is, you know what? When you hit bottom, the only way to go is up. Okay, so you can hit bottom, but then from there you go up and start going to the top.
And have you ever been broke before?
Of course. Who hasn't been?
And what was that turning point like for you? Like how did you know that you wanted to become serious about really becoming successful and finding that success?
You know something, there's an old saying, I think it was done by Caesar or somebody. It says, know thyself. You got to know yourself. You got to know what's good for you, what's not good for you. Use your brain. Use the brain that God gave you.
Number 6.
How long have you been a business owner for?
Oh, let's see, about 18 years now.
What has been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
$500,000?
$500,000.
Yeah.
And that's for yourself.
And that's just me.
Have you ever been broke before?
Yeah, I have, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a time where I worked in a store and I didn't have enough food to eat. So when no one was in the break room, I went in the refrigerator and I took a little bit out of everybody else's lunch, just enough so that they wouldn't notice, but enough so that I would have something to eat.
What was that turning point like for you? Like, how did you know that you wanted to get really serious about becoming financially free and starting to build that wealth? What was the turning point like?
That's a good question. I would have to say I had a lot of older friends growing up, and I watched them really closely. And a lot of times I would, I guess, just be envious of what they were doing, but still scared of taking the chances that they were taking, but that's the only way you do it.
How old are you now?
I am 63.
So how important is it to take a risk at an early age?
Oh, it's very important. I think the biggest risks that you take early on are the ones that are really going to pay off, and really nobody really meets their full potential unless they take risks early on.
Now let me ask you, what was the biggest risk that you took throughout your career?
I think stepping out on my own and not being content with a paycheck from a big company and working really hard just so that they could succeed. Right. I think the biggest risk I've taken is taken all the nervousness that I had about it and just said, nope, we're doing it or we'll regret it the rest of our lives.
Right. How can somebody become a millionaire in 2024?
Really be willing to make sacrifices, work hard, don't show off, be honest. I think honesty is the biggest thing. And don't be afraid to reach out to people also. I think the people that I have seen that have really struggled the most are the people that are afraid to pick up a phone or to call on somebody that they've worked with in the past and get advice from them or get some kind of support from them.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
Thank
man.
you very
You got
much.
great advice. Really appreciate you.